What's up, everybody? Welcome to a average November day here in Ohio. It's cloudy, kind of drizzly, and about 50 degrees, so that's cool. But it did not rain enough to stop us from putting in this driveway here at Mom and Dad's this weekend. We got all the materials moved last night, which I think that took like 5 hours because we used a skid loader and the 8000 with a bucket on the back and then the 901 with the forks on it. And we ended up piling all this stuff out here. We scraped off part of the field here so we could put the asphalt on it. The plan tonight is to start cutting out everything, and then we're going to be placing the concrete in underneath the asphalt to give like a good base, and it conserves a lot of gravel, a lot of asphalt, so we don't have to use near as much. And if you watched an earlier video, you would have seen that I pulled all that concrete out of my house, or not out of my house, but off of my property where a barn was. Dad had all this marked out about a week ago where the driveway was going to be, but after driving on it last night so much, all the paint lines got destroyed and you really can't see anything. So I have this can of premium paint that I'm going to try to get some new lines marked out. And I think the plan is to start right up there in the ditch, and we're going to dig down a little bit and put in these bigger concrete chunks. These are the footers from the barn I took down. We've got 3 nice pieces of that, so we're gonna dig down right beside the road and put them in. That way, if we pull in semis or anything heavy, it won't crush the edge of the road off. It'll hopefully hold up whatever we're bringing in here. And then after that, it's just gonna be piecing in these little chunks and then putting asphalt over everything. So I don't know how far we'll be able to actually take the driveway before we run out of material, but we're just gonna do what we can for now. I'm really hoping to get to the end, but I don't see it happening. But I'm gonna get these lines marked out and we'll get started on this. Okay, I got the driveway painted out and I edged it with a flat shovel. That way when you run the bucket along here, it won't tear up sod on the side that we don't want torn up. But Dad's gonna bring his truck over here. We're gonna see how it looks with him pulling in here, see if this is enough room. Because we did have it marked out 12 foot wide, but trying to save gravel, we went down to 11, which isn't a big difference, but it's something. So just want to make sure this is going to work. Because the combine's 11 feet exactly, so it'll be perfect for that. Oh, no problem. No problem. Well, we got a good chunk of the entrance done. Dad's chiseling off the high points so it don't stick up through the top coat, but we're getting down to the hard dirt now, so we got the chisel behind me. We're gonna try to get some stuff chiseled out before we bucket it out, make it a little easier on the skid loader. Struggling with our depth currently. Dad's trying to get it set deep enough, but not too deep to where we make the base of the driveway too soft. Well, I guess I'll pull off that top coat, or that top layer of dirt, and we'll try again. Well, we finally got most of it dug out. It is insanely hard, but it makes sense because we've driven over it for the past 10 years with equipment, and so it's just gonna be packed in tight. And we tried, we chiseled it, and I was like, it's not quite deep enough. So then Dad went and put the one bottom plow on, and that thing just wouldn't even, it wouldn't even touch that dirt. It just went chick, 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 right on top, or however you want to explain that. I don't know how much more on video tonight, just because it's going to be mostly putting in concrete, which is pretty much the same as how it has been. And I have to work in the morning for a couple hours, so they'll probably get started, and I'm not sure when I'll be back, but it'll be sometime mid-morning, hopefully. And we're going to try to get this knocked out tomorrow, so stay tuned. Well, it's 10 o'clock. We got all the concrete laid, and it looks really sweet. Didn't make it quite all the way, but we got pretty close. Catch you tomorrow. Top coating asphalt. This stuff is gonna go way farther than I thought it would. I thought Dad was crazy when he said we'd have plenty to make it to the end, but I think we actually will. This is like probably 8 scoops. So now I just have to go through and pick out all the chunks, and then we'll put the chunks at the end where we ran out of concrete last night and smooth it out and do the whole thing over again. So I'll get to it. Well, we're getting pretty close. Got all the asphalt put down. That's as far as we got right there. And Dad's working on moving the dirt. When we got down, as I was going along, I was able to pile the big chunks in front of me and then use like the finer material on top of it. But I ran out of in front of me, so I had to just put it in place where it was. Well, now the big chunks laying on top in that spot are messing up the grade. So I dug down a little hole right there, and I'm gonna go through and put all the little chunks in it, and then I can fine grade back over that, and hopefully that'll work out. So I'm gonna work on that for a little bit, and I think Dad might help, or he's gonna keep moving dirt. I'm not sure yet. But we're getting close. Looks really nice. And it'll be really nice to not get stuck right here, because I got stuck right here last summer. Actually, I think it was in a video where I got stuck. I don't remember. Got it done. We had enough asphalt to get around the corner, just over by the pool, just past the muddy spot. And we got paint lines marked out for the edge of the yard. So we want this to be 12 rows wide because that's 30 feet and our sprayer is 30 feet. So Dad's gonna run a little plow swath along the edge, cut a good edge on it. Move these tools out of the way. Carter's finishing up the dirt, maybe you already said that. Actually clay is, it looks like. And yeah, we put dirt in right there so we could slope that. So if you need to back a semi off, you can back it down to that yard. Well, he's kind of on the line. Not really though. Okay, that'll do it for that one, and we're gonna leave 3 feet over here from the edge of the driveway to the edge of the field, and we'll just keep this sprayed. We won't mow this. We won't have to worry about getting in the yard with the sprayer. It looks like he's gonna do another pass. So as soon as he gets that field edge marked out, we're gonna hook the chisel up and chisel this spot here that's not done yet, and that'll wrap up this project. Is that how many it was before? I don't remember. I think. is some hard ground. It's had 500 trips of skid loaders and tractors going over it the past couple days, so that makes sense, I guess. Probably gonna have to hit it twice. But it's definitely gonna be a curvy enduro. Carter's going around picking up all the concrete that's left over and any asphalt chunks and taking them back and dumping them in we have a washout spot along the edge of the field back there. And so we're kind of trying to fill that in a little bit with some field stone and whatever else we have. That was quite a weekend. That was a lot of hard work, but it paid off, definitely. Excuse me. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering why we didn't just get gravel, because it seems like it'd be a lot easier, and it definitely would be a lot easier. But the thing is, this didn't cost us a dime. The concrete was from the barn I took down last summer, and the asphalt, the town real close to us, one of the dump truck drivers called Dad when they were grinding out one of the roads and asked if we wanted the asphalt. Dad was like, sure. I mean, yeah. So they went and dumped it around back behind the bin there. And that's really the only reason we were able to do this, because it just wouldn't be feasible if we were buying all that gravel. So, yeah. Also, you're probably wondering why my hair is shorter in the last 5 minutes. I was told by my wife that I'm supposed to get a haircut before I come home, and I forgot until the very end of the day. But I think that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you later.